Let's interact with Anil Rai Gupta, the Chairman and Managing Director of Havells India. And Mr. Gupta, thanks so much for joining us. Help us understand that excluding your cables and wires growth, that was moderate at 8%. What are the reasons for this and what's the outlook?
I think, one, there was a decent base last year. And secondly, there was a delayed summer in especially summer products like electric consumer durables, fans. That was the reason. And within switchgear also, residential switchgear did very well. But there has been some decline in the growth in industrial switchgear. And also in the lighting business, we have seen deflationary trends. However, the volume growth is quite decent in the lighting business.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Gupta. This is Shrishti also joining in. But one of the concern factors that even you have highlighted is the delayed summer and inflationary pressures that could actually impact your RAC sales. That has already impacted you in the quarter gone by. But help us understand, what is the outlook going ahead? Are we in to see some bit of an improvement on a quarter-on-quarter basis?
I think it's not just the raw materials. There is a delayed summer, and though the primary sales have been good in the fourth quarter, but I think we will have to see how it pans out in the first quarter itself because of the delayed summer, both in South and though North has picked up now, but it is still a delayed summer as compared to last year.
Okay, and while we're talking about summer, how do you see AC demand shaping up, especially with the government likely easing the BIS norms for compressors for AC that weigh under 2 tons? So, what's the outlook on the AC segment as well?
I think, as I said, AC demand depends a lot on the season itself. It's not just the BIS norms. So there is a structural growth in the AC business. However, it can vary depending upon the season for that particular period of time. So we will still have to see how it pans out over the first quarter, which is the summer season, and then we'll be able to comment better.
And also, Mr. Gupta, your Lloyd segment has performed a very good set of performance in this particular quarter, wherein the scale benefits and the cost savings have led to an improvement in the margins of the overall segment. But how much more improvement should we expect going forward?
I think I've already mentioned that Lloyd is a long-term journey in terms of investments towards brand distribution enhancement as well as technology. So that will be continued to be there. I think we are now at a scale that we have achieved profitability, and it should continue to improve from here.
Okay, and shifting focus to your margins now, Mr. Gupta, your margins have been largely flat on a year-on-year basis, but they have been to some extent supported by Lloyd and switchgear. Help us understand when we can expect to see contribution from other segments as well, and what would you be guiding for margins for FY26?
I believe the margins have been quite decent and coming back in all businesses, not just cables and switchgear and Lloyd. I think ECD is doing well. It's improving, and lighting has always been traditionally a high margin business for Havells. So we should be expecting a very good FY26 for all businesses.
And also, Mr. Gupta, let's shift focus to the cables and wire segment and help us understand firstly how much was the impact of the copper prices and the channel stocking, and what's the outlook going forward. We'd like to take this discussion forward with respect to the competition building in. But firstly, if you can help us with your reading on the trend shaping up for the raw material prices and the stocking.
I believe, we've achieved 20% growth in wires and cables. Half of that is volume growth and half of that is value growth. Copper has been fluctuating over the last quarter, and I think that sometimes impacts demand positively, primary demand, and sometimes it impacts negatively also. So we will have to continue to navigate through this uncertainty of, the fluctuation in raw material prices.
Okay, and Mr. Gupta, also help us understand what is the capex plan for FY26 and for the next 2 to 3 years, and how would this be distributed or divided between your segments? What is the allocation going to look like?
Yeah, so last year, capex was about 750 crores. This year, the plan is about 1,200 crores. And over the 2 years, this year, coming year, and the next year, we should be looking to invest about 2,000 crores. Part of the capex is going in developing the new refrigerator business, also enhancing the capacity of cables business, also in setting up a new R&D center.
All right, and Mr. Gupta, let's discuss how do you see the competition building up, or rather the new competition entering into the cables and wire segment, because you have been a pioneer in this particular segment, but with now two big players entering this, how do you see the industry shaping up, and what could be the likely impact on the existing players, including you?
Well, I think wires and cables, generally the competitive intensity has always been high, and with new players coming in, it actually augurs well for the industry because it takes the industry more towards the organized sector and brands. And I believe whilst the anybody who comes in will take some time to set up capacity, but it will be a sort of a welcome move in terms of the consumers getting more opportunities to buy branded products and high quality products.
And Mr. Gupta, we understand that the company has recently invested in Goldi Solar. Help us understand the rationale behind this. Give us a timeline on when the operations will begin, and do you plan to increase your stake in the company in the near future?
Well, I think the reason for the investment, the rationale for the investment is first of all panels. Havells is into the renewable space and wants to expand in this space. Through this investment, we shall be having access to the manufacturing of locally manufactured panels. And over a period of time, what we understand is that Goldi will be investing in manufacturing for cells as well, which go into the panels. And so at that point of time, we will evaluate further, but this is the investment at the present moment.
All right, Mr. Gupta, we let you go on that note. Really appreciate you taking the time out and speaking with us, and also helping us with the outlook going ahead when it comes to the different segments when it comes to Havells India.